Hi again, Jeremy with Strategic Advisory Services. Hope you're having a great week, a great day. We're just going to jump right in. Monday, the markets opened, or the Dow, America's 30 largest companies, opened at 20,400 points. As of this video, it's at 20,700 points, up about 1% for the week. It's been kind of a slow week in the markets. We can measure that with what's called the VIX index, VIX. That index measures the amount of volatility we're experiencing. Over the last 52 weeks, last year, the VIX index reached a high of 26. Today it's at about 11, which tells us, and the low, by the way, is about 9.5, which tells us that it was a low volatility week. Probably not a lot of headlines. Still cooling off from last week's sort of market, wasn't a correction, but market pullback for the week. Friday was a particularly bad day, so that's possibly it. Two big headlines dominated the news so far this week. The Consumer Confidence Index came out this week at 125.6, which is the highest it has been since December of 2000. In 16 years, the consumer, your neighbors, friends, colleagues, everybody that's around us in the United States, has never felt better about the economy. So what is the Consumer Confidence Index? Well, it's a survey of 5,000 U.S. households, and they're asked 5 questions. And it's basically, what are your feelings on the following? Current business conditions over the next 6 months, current employment conditions over the next 6 months, and your family's current income. And they answer the question either positive, negative, or neutral. So one of those 3. So with 5,000 households being interviewed, they use a formula and they come up with a point system. 125.6 is this Consumer Confidence Index number. When I think about the Consumer Confidence Index, it's an interesting figure because Wall Street treats it one way. Other investors treat it differently. Wall Street sees it as a positive thing. When it's really high, that means everybody's feeling good, the markets should do well. That's the way Wall Street wants you to interpret the Consumer Confidence Index. There are some bearish investors that interpret it basically inversely. When the Consumer Confidence Index is high like it is, they say to be cautious. When it's low, they say to be optimistic. It's like anything else. It's opinions. There are data points on all of it to prove all of it. What do we say? Well, what we say is we don't build plans on a Consumer Confidence Index. We don't trade on a Consumer Confidence Index. It's just a data point. But I will say that it's nice to feel good about the economy again. It's nice to feel comfortable. It's nice when you talk with your friends and neighbors. It doesn't dominate the conversation of, am I going to lose my job? Or is my income going to go down? It's nice to feel that again in most spots in America. That's certainly been the case, and that's why it's at a high since December of 2000. It's not a cautionary tale, I don't think, and certainly not for folks that plan well, that diversify well, follow those plans. It's just a data point, but it did dominate the news cycle. The next topic that I wouldn't say dominated the news cycle, but probably should have, was 9 months ago, the UK voted to leave the European Union. A monster vote. There are probably less, I would say it might even be a bigger vote than Trump winning the election because it's such a catastrophic change to Europe, the structure, everything around it. And since the vote, it's just been a bunch of political posturing, well, until yesterday. Yesterday, Prime Minister May came out with their actual plan. They haven't left yet. Their plan to leave the European Union. So, what does that plan mean? Well, they have to restructure trade, banking, immigration laws, and they have to do so with 27 other member states of the European Union. So, to summarize this, they have 2 years to do all that. To come up with some sort of agreements with each of these states over the next 2 years that's going to be beneficial to both parties involved. I think it's easy to tell that's going to create some problems. There's going to be some volatility. There's going to be some massive headaches, conversations, political debates. I'm sure it will sway elections over there for years to come. And the other kind of just data point on that is that there's other European Union members that are starting to want to go that route. We put a blog post out there recently of covering the populist movement of what's going on in Europe, and there's lots of big votes this year. Check out that blog post because it goes through it in detail. It's going to create volatility with international investments. There's just no way around it. It will even create volatility here. That is classic systemic risk that we talked about in last week's video. What is odd, I mean, it's a monster thing, and with our 24-hour news cycle, the way it works, it disappeared. When we went into the U.S. election cycle, unless you were really in tune with economics or you follow Wall Street Journal closely, you probably didn't hear much about Brexit. It's going to stick around for a long time, and certainly if more countries decide to go that route, it's just going to grow in its impact exponentially. So with that 24-hour news cycle, we constantly want to remind everybody, just be cautious about what you read. If you have questions about it, give us a call. Certainly try not to make emotional decisions about things when it comes to investments and what you read. We covered that last week. So transitioning a little bit, another thing we want to do with these videos is hit on a topic of financial planning. Over the last several months, we've had a couple occasions where a power of attorney document has been necessary in order to help someone, and we didn't have it. Either the party that needed to help the incapacitated person didn't know where the document was, couldn't find it, or they just didn't have one, it didn't exist. It presents a real problem when financial transactions need to happen, and the person that owns the account, titled on the account, can't sign. Of course, the court system can figure that out for you if you want. If you don't have a power of attorney document and you get incapacitated, it costs money and time, and oftentimes you don't have either when it's needed. So our recommendation is, if you have a power of attorney, get it to the people that you do financial transactions with. There's different kinds of power of attorneys. There's springing, there's durable. I won't go into it. It's a little outside the scope of this video. Certainly a qualified professional can help you with that. But if you don't have one, it's so important to have that. It's not a matter, for most people, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you won't be able to make your own financial decisions. Hopefully, if we're all lucky, it's way later on in life, and it's not right now. But you don't know that. So it's important to get that document in the hands of the right people before they need to have it. Or if you don't have one, we know qualified attorneys that can help you get one. And certainly just give us a call, and we can tell you a little bit more about the documents. And again, it also accompanies other estate planning documents like wills, living wills. There's several other documents that come with it that are also important. But that one's been sort of a headache over the last couple months when those situations have occurred. Some quick news around the office. We've had some great meetings with clients this week. We think some good decisions are being made. We've had a couple referrals this week from folks that think that we can help them. We love that, and we're so appreciative when we get those referrals. It means the world to us. It's the only way we grow our business is through referrals from folks that like what we do. If you know of anyone going through a tough financial time, a life transition, thinking about retirement, thinking about saving for retirement, we can help, and we're happy to help. And if we can't help, we'll help you find someone that will help. We pride ourselves on doing business with people that need us, and certainly we look forward to meeting anybody that you know that we can help improve their life, or at least just solve some problems. Thanks for watching this week. Enjoy doing it. Look forward to next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend. And if you have any questions, concerns, anything else, give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you.